Joining us to talk about cleaning, and more cleaning is Robert Okubo from 200 Degrees Cleaning. Karibu sana and good morning.
Morning.
It's wonderful to see you here and to have you in our studios today. Let's talk about where the dream began for you.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your wonderful show. And this dream started about 15 years ago. I used to be a travel agent before I left Kenya, and I tried to move to the US to try and go market Kenya for tourism. Unfortunately, terrorism changed my event, and we couldn't market Kenya anymore because we had a travel ban. So it forced me to seek employment so I could sort my bills, and I ended up with a cleaning company. I worked at that company for about 5 years, and I thought it was ready to try and go at it on my own. This was a large company. They were in every state in the United States, and my truck alone used to give the company $400,000 a year, and we used to have 10 trucks in my station. So I said to myself, if I could just get 1% of what he's doing, I'm good. So here we are today. I set off my own company, 200 Degrees. I used that name is because in the US, these machines can boil water to that temperature. And basically, when you have hot water extraction, you're able to release stains and dirt, kill bacteria very easily. Yeah. Now, I eventually set up the company. I ran it for some time, and I came to Kenya on holiday. And while on holiday, I was curious to figure out how people were cleaning stuff. And sure thing, I was at a car dealership, and I noticed them cleaning seats of a chair. There's a machine called a power washer, which is very popular at the car washers, and we're using this to spray down a seat. And I asked the guy, how long is it going to take you to dry that seat? He told me about 2 or 3 days if the weather's good. In my line of business, I'm also a drying expert. If anything stays wet for more than 48 hours, you get mildew. Mildew is the bad, funny smell that you get, and pretty much it's good to let everybody know. When you have mildew from a carpet that smells or your seats, it's irreversible. It only disappears once it's dry, but anytime water comes into contact, the smell comes back. So I figured if this is how people are cleaning in Nairobi, a lot of stuff must be getting damaged. And I said, maybe it's time to try and try the market and see if they'll respond positively to it. And here we are today.
Wonderful. What an excellent decision to come home and try something.
Right.
But in transitioning, because you went from travel and crossed the divide to something completely different. And for a lot of Kenyans, today they could be waking up to transitions.
Right.
They have to step up or step aside or step down. But either way, something is changing in their lives and they may be struggling with it. What would you like to say to them?
There's really nothing wrong with change, especially, okay, it affected me in a way because when you run travel, you're basically taking tourists, showing them beautiful sights, the beaches, the safaris, and then when I transitioned to cleaning, every time I used to clean my clients' furniture or carpets, my mind would go back to what I used to do before, and I'd get tormented. But eventually, I fell in love with it because the satisfaction I get is when I see a happy customer. When I surprise them that I could change an extremely dirty chair to something clean, it makes my day when I see their reaction. Now, sometimes when you're going through transition, you might find it opens other doors. I had no idea I would be opening 2 branches in the US and eventually back home. And I'm actually happy to be back home. So I think anyone going through that just needs to be focused, they need to be consistent, and they need to give it their very best. Any little effort you put into something, it's like trying to water a flower. You keep on treating that flower with TLC, it will blossom. And I think that's how any business should be treated.
Right. No regrets, and stop staring at that door that has closed.
Yes.
It is shut.
Yes.
Turn around and see what else is open. And whatever has been given to you, it could be your breakthrough.
Right.
It will not be the way you expected it, but just walk. Talking about cleaning, the challenges that you had when setting up in Kenya, because of course Kenyans have a different way of doing business. So what were some of the different things and challenges that you experienced?
Well, first and foremost, something they had to get used to was our pricing. There's the average guy who goes around cleaning with a vacuum cleaner, brush and water, will charge you 5 shillings a square foot. And your stuff will probably take about 2 days to dry. Now, we charge about between 35 and 40 shillings per square foot to clean, depending on the nature of the stains and stuff. And it took a while for our clients to appreciate the kind of work we were doing, because we would tell them we will come into your home, preferably if you book us in the morning, by the afternoon your stuff is dry. And we use special air movers, so we don't need to always have sunshine. We don't believe in the 2-day drying period, because that's just basically damage. So eventually those who've seen what we have done have appreciated, and we thank them for supporting us, because we have really grown within the 3 years we set up. And if they follow us on Facebook, you will notice our likes have actually really increased. So eventually people have come to accept our terms, and I think have seen the quality in our work. We actually clean for a lot of organizations, a lot of individuals, homeowners. Our biggest clients are the homeowners, and we thank them so much out there for supporting us.
All right, it's interesting that you say the bulk of your customers are homeowners.
Yes, they are.
We're living in a society where having housekeepers, having house help is fairly affordable for most Kenyans. And so they could be watching and thinking, now, why am I going to hire you? And there's this lady or there's this gentleman in my house, so why am I keeping him and still hiring you? When is it necessary to get a professional?
In fact, it's good you mentioned that. A lot of homeowners have called me because they let the house help wash the carpet. And they're innocent. They really don't have the know-how on how to go about this. And I think 90% of them will drench the carpet with a bucket of water, scrub, 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 then hang it to drip. Now, if you're not extracting or vacuuming that carpet before you clean it, all you're doing is creating mud at the bottom of the mat. 90% of the times when I show up, they will call me after 4 days of it not drying, and the bad smell has come. And I feel sad when I show up, because I say, look, it's a 50-50 chance that I can correct this, but mildew is almost chemically bound. Once it's in there, it's in there. And I've seen expensive Persian rugs with that problem. So I advise that if you're not sure of the kind of rug or furniture you have and how it should be cleaned, give us a call. I'll give you the advice for free. Secondly, we get a lot of floods in Nairobi, and I've been to places where I've found carpets drenched in water. The owners of the building will probably try and get all the workers with blankets and buckets, and probably spend a day or two trying to mop it up, and no results. Now that's where we come in, because I'm also a drying expert. We come in with extractors to pull up all that water, then we leave drying equipment in place to try and dry that area under 48 hours so that you don't damage everything. And feel free to call us if they need free advice.
Okay.
Yes.
We've talked about carpets, we've talked about furniture. Let's talk about curtains.
Curtains.
And also, to some extent, upholstery, because there's certain beds where the headboard is fabric.
Yes.
And I know of people who buy home dry cleaning agent and brushes and try to get those stains off. And so when you walk into these beautiful bedrooms and then you look at the headboards of the bed and there's these unsightly stains.
Well, that's interesting because what happens with detergents, when it's good to use the spot removers, but you must rinse them out. And I'm stressing on that because if you don't rinse it out, soap keeps working even when it's dry. If these arms right here had been soaped and dry and my hands are not clean, the minute I rub my hands on them, it will, the soap will definitely attract that dirt. So it will turn black within a month. We apply detergents, we scrub down whatever we're cleaning, then we extract with fresh water. We extract with fresh water because we want to remove chemical and dirt. We believe in leaving an area chemically free, you know. So, like I said, using the spot removers is fine, but they must rinse it out. And rinsing it out, they can just use a warm water and a towel, preferably a white towel, so that they can see what they're removing from the fabric.
Okay.
Yes.
When it comes to taking care of either the carpets, the fabrics in your room, for instance, there's certain people who got sofas and they've got linens that they use on top. They've got these seat covers that they use.
Yes.
There's one housekeeper who washed the covers and they shrank. And she just was on the verge of leaving her place of employment and never coming back home. But you see, there are things like that that happen. Are you able to take care of upholstery like that?
Well, if shrinkage, you can't do much with that. It's pretty much short if that happens. But because of the fact we have quick drying time, in my years of cleaning, I've never had that problem. Things like curtains, we mist clean them so they don't get drenched. And we clean them as they hang. So we save the homeowner the headache of having to take them down the railings and burning fuel to go to the laundry. We just come and do it in there and try and get them dry or almost dry by the time we are leaving.
All right, so whether it's the very light fabrics or the very heavy ones?
Usually the heavy ones, because if it's a very light fabric, normally that can be washed. But the heavy fabrics that are really thick with lining and stuff, we will take care of that for them.
Okay.
And there's something else I wanted to add that people never think about. Mattresses. We clean mattresses. We sweat on mattresses daily. The body sheds body cells daily. You get dust mite. It's important to have mattresses cleaned. Even in the US, the company I worked for didn't emphasize much on them. But when I opened mine, I made sure I emphasized and managed to get quite a number of companies on board that would recommend at least once a year of cleaning the mattress. You want that fresh smell. The pillows is another place. I'm sure a lot of us drool on pillows.
We drool. Oh my good Lord, you're up in there for 5 hours of the night.
Yes, drooling. So usually when somebody wants their mattresses cleaned, I'll even throw in their pillows for free.
That's very kind.
Because I know what's in there, you know. So it's good to let our people know it's important to clean them.
And in cleaning mattresses and pillows, you assure us by evening we can still crawl into bed and be able to sleep.
In fact, while we're here, I'll be able to show you what you use to give this quick drying. But yes, because we know you have to end up in that bed by night, so we get it dry the same day.
What about duvets?
Duvets, we can also clean the same way like we clean curtains. And at times, if we can't do it on site, we will take it with us and then deliver it back.
Okay.
Yes.
How often would you recommend, say, cleaning the carpet? And you've already told us about the mattress once a year is good enough. What about
with the carpet? It depends. Sofas? Yeah. It depends on how many people you have in the house. If you have at least 5 to 6 people, I would say, if possible, every 4 months to every 6 months. You know, if you're just the two of you, maybe just one child, once a year. Once a year is good. But it all depends on the kind of traffic you have. And you can also visibly see when it needs it. Then again, you can also tell when the air quality in your home has changed. You can always get that dusty feeling, somebody sneezing. then you know it's time to have us come in and do a good spring clean.
Okay.
Yes.
There's some families where they've got pets. It could be dogs, it could be cats. They've got wildlife,
Yes.
pretty much, domesticated animals living in there. How often would you recommend?
They should be at least every 3 to 4 months. But the thing in Kenya is I've not come across many people that keep the pets in the house. Actually, maybe like 5%. It's not like the US. The US, it's wall-to-wall carpet. And a lot of times why we need 200 degrees is because you're dealing with pet stains. You know, pets have a different body smell. So that body smell rubs onto the carpets, and we need to eradicate that and deodorize. But here, most of the stains could be juice, Royco, or, you know, nothing major. Actually, I think I would say how people keep their homes pretty clean.
I think so.
Yes.
I mean, we've just made sure a few housekeepers are not being shown the door today because really, at the end of the day, we all need each other, and
we need not to
together.
break their backs.
Yeah.
Cleaning carpets on your knees with a brush is not a joke, you know, and every time that some of the maids here come in, there you can see the relief of sigh.
Happiness.
Yes, that we're here.
They make you very nice little cups of tea to say, Asante umetusaidia sana.
Yes, they do.
And that's always a good thing. But thinking about the services that you offer, are you only in Nairobi? What if there's somebody watching in Mombasa and is thinking, I'm interested?
I feel sorry because I get a lot of emails and calls from Mombasa, Kisumu, Kericho. And I'm trying to get partners to team up with. There's a requirement for them to do a joint venture with us. So they can find us online or on Facebook and take it from there. I'll give them the details. But we hope to be in Mombasa soon. I've been talking to a few people who are interested. There's somebody else I'm talking to about Kericho. But we would like to provide the same quality of service to these different major cities. So I'm hoping that will happen soon. In Nairobi, we have a car wash on Mombasa Road, not far from Capital Center. And we've just signed up a deal with Shell Jacaranda Motors in Lavington. So we'll be also operating from there so that people don't have to drive all the way to Mombasa Road or vice versa. And hopefully also moving to Dar es Salaam and Kampala. I'm definitely looking at those two places because we've gotten a lot of emails from there, people telling us we need to be there.
Right.
2 days ago I had a lovely lady from Kericho come all the way. She actually called me from Bomet and asked us if we had a station. I said no. And she shocked us because this weekend she actually came to see us. She drove all the way. We detailed for her. And we told her she'd given us a challenge. So we're definitely trying to move closer to her.
Okay.
Yes.
In cleaning the car, how often would you recommend?
Nairobi, I would say at least once every 6 months. Yeah, once every 6 months. And in between, it's very necessary to vacuum these vehicles because it's a moving filter. When you're driving through the city with your windows down, your car is absorbing all this smoke, dust. And there's a simple test we will try and do that everybody can do at home. That test I will share for free to let them know how dirty their stuff is and how regular they should vacuum it. It's a very simple test. Yeah.
All right. Talking about the test, we can even walk over and get started with that. So let's take a walk. Okay. Let's stroll over to the equipment and the chair so we can see what it is that you get up to.
Okay.
All right. So
this
machines.
Yes, this is the extractor right here. And all I'm going to do is the vacuum.
Okay.
This is a chair when you look at, it doesn't really look that dirty.
No.
Yeah.
Thank God it's black.
So what I'm going to do is wrap this white towel. You can see it's very white. And then I'll swipe it on the seat. Okay. It's a little noisy, but just 5 seconds.
Just one blast and we can do it. So it was nice and white and sparkling, and I cannot believe what I'm looking at now.
This is what you don't see. See that?
Oh, wow.
I can actually shake off the dust. See that?
Oh, my good Lord.
Yes. And this you will find in your cars, sometimes in your curtain, Right. Now, you can imagine, if we came and cleaned everything that had this kind of dust, then you walk back into your house, you will definitely see a difference in the air quality.
I still can't do, and you know, it looks like it's...
Like somebody must have pushed in all
closer?
that.
Just come in a little closer, because
Can
I'd like
shake
you
it.
to see that. It's dust. Can you see it jumping? There we
Amazing,
go.
huh?
In fact, if you look at this chair,
Right.
if you just zoom in here to this spot, there it is. This is what was on this.
Oof,
look at
it's a
that.
lot.
Can you see that? I can't believe what I'm looking at.
That's it.
And no wonder some of us are walking into houses every day. You've got sniffles. It's not a cold. It's not anything, but you're constantly...
And you'll notice this is a fine kind of dust.
It's the worst kind.
Yes, very thin. If somebody sat in that chair that was allergic, they would definitely sneeze, because that dust would rise real thin and fine. Yeah.
All right, this is definitely... Okay. We are going to pick up your social media contacts, because we need to get Kenya clean.
No problem. I'll be happy to do that.
You're doing an awesome, absolutely fantastic job to make sure that, you know, we can be healthier and cleaner. And in looking at this, I'm beginning to think about the way we store things in boxes, and we've got clutter that we don't need.
That's right.
Do you assist people in just take this out, keep this?
Actually, we try, especially when people complain about having roaches in the home. Clutter is a good home for roaches, even mice. So you want to try and make sure anytime you buy stuff that comes in boxes, find a place to keep those boxes. If you don't need them, get rid of the boxes. I mean, if you're moving, the moving companies will always show up with new boxes for you and pack up stuff, you know. So yes, clutter is not the best thing to have around. It attracts rodents and stuff. Yes.
All right. In expanding, in growing, in you coming back, you've been able to provide a number of young Kenyans with employment.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, sucking up this dirt, it can't be a one-man show. So in pursuing your dream, you've opened up doors for others.
And we intend to, actually for the youth, we would like to see how we can team up with some of the leaders to open centers around the country where people can do stuff right, or set up an organization that certifies cleaners, and also a place where people can actually get to us and get information. Because when you have people coming around to clean and they're not doing it the right way, they're damaging stuff. So we want to try and make sure homeowners are safe. But yes, for the young people, we would like to set up stations for them. We're working on that. Right.
Mr. Robert, thank you so very much for being here with us today.
No problem.
Absolutely incredible. I am impressed. Am I going to be looking for you? Yes.
Oh, wonderful.
Without doubt. We are going to post his social media contacts on our social media site. So if you know your house could do with some spring cleaning, the kids were around for the holidays and you know what they got up to, and you've been wondering how you're going to clean things up and get ready for Christmas, now you know how. And it doesn't hurt to ask for professional help. In fact, it's probably safer if you do. Don't you think? So check out our social media sites and we will put you in touch with Robert Okubo from 200 Degrees Cleaning. Right now we go back to a series that we've been sharing with you every week on AM Live. It helps you understand this planet. It helps you to know why you shouldn't take it for granted. It's been around for a while and we want to keep it around for a little longer. So take a look at This Is Home.